Hey, so we picked Pup over, I think, Morgan or Faye. Playing in Snow Angel. I don't love any of these, obviously. We do want a support. We don't see any. I think she scales the best with supports and gives us a chance. She's alignment. She's aligned, so she has a chance to get a spell cast on to utilize our gold better on turn 2. So we'll see if we can do that. Otherwise, we're just kind of looking for supports. Okay, so we do see we get the sugar and spice that I was referring to, but no supports still. Interesting. These are both buff characters, but neither of them are actual supports. This person, Charon, I wonder if that's Otter from League of Legends. Maybe not. Otter's a common name. I used to coach a team with him on it, and we, we have some, good range characters. The problem is that because they get the +2, +1 buff, it becomes hard to trade with them. But if we have 3 attack, we have a slightly better chance. And it looks like we'll get it here. Looks like a lot of people are going princes. They might have some, a big frog coming down the pipe at some point. Wow, so this is interesting. We sort of love all of these. And we don't have anything great to do here. I think what we want to do is grab this, right? And grab this. And do we want these, or is this just folly? That's probably a bad idea. And my thinking is here that we'd rather make the prince useful by giving it a big buff. This ranged character is still useful in trades. Letting out ranged characters be very big mean they're likely to take anything out, but any wasted... So any attack that goes beyond the, the attack, if we attack a 7 attack thing into a, 4 health thing, that's wasted, so if we can spread it out a little more, we optimize our trades a little better, was my thinking. Again, possible that's nonsense. We're gonna take the Mims here, and we're gonna try really hard to resist taking this pig. I think we're gonna fail. So that's tough. We're not gonna grab the Shadow Assassin, we're gonna resist that. Yeah, we're gonna take the pig. The issue we're having here is that I just love scaling. I just love scaling so much. Oh, and here's a third. Where are my princesses? This is a third support, but we already have a back line. I'm gonna let that go. We don't need spellcasts, so we're not gonna grab this. I think this is also not great early, just because, not because the healing is less valuable early than late, although you can tell if you need healing more later in the game, but it's just that your gold is more valuable early, so spending 1 gold on something that doesn't advance your board seems less valuable. We probably should have moved our range character over, that was a mistake. Ooh, tough one. We're actually going to benefit from this having 1 attack. I think we would have won anyways, but it was nice to get that there. So we do see another one. I think we'll take it. We might be able to put the pig up front. Oh, and these are princesses, right? I'll flip that. Can we grab the second one, or do we just sell the baby root? Because the idea is we'll put them right here. Would we sell this? They sell the baby root that we're not putting in. Put the thing is, we won't be able to put something. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have something and not put it on board. We're gonna go like this, and just hope that we get some kind of wild scaling comp here, or wild XP lead here. This gets a lot worse if it's not attacking early, obviously, but these attacking early is so much better. I wonder if there's some comp that makes more sense, like this? We make these a lot beefier, we're more comfortable with this getting knocked off. But this isn't, so the ranged ability of this matters so much less if it's the third thing it's going to attack, because it's so much more likely to get traded off. That might be a dumb play, but it might not be. So, two things. Oh, that attack in the back line is great for us because we get the double. We got the double slay. Obviously great for us. This being a ranged attacker isn't great. It looks like we have a 50-50 shot. We blew it, unfortunately. We're going to take a little bit of damage here. Not too much. We really just need to take this out. Okay, we're going to take the upgrade, right? Oh, wow. Yep. So, we're speed leveling to 6. I almost want to take this. I say almost, but I very much want to take that, I guess is how you'd phrase it. We could just, so if we put this back in, we get a strong ranged character. So we have that option. If we put this in, we can give it a lot of, health. And what that would mean is that it has a good chance of surviving some attacks. And since we will likely hit 5, if this can get the slay off, we will hit, if this gets the slay off, we will hit 5. That's not up for debate, really. And then we can hopefully have, some extra gold going into that turn. The pig isn't likely to survive here, right? I wonder if it makes sense to sell the archer just to buff the greedy or something. Gives us a better chance to win a fight. I think the pig is just, you can't have a pig up front, I think. We get the slay. We're very happy. They get the slay. We're less happy about that. Oh, we did buff that up so it survived an attack. I wasn't expecting it to be that close. Yeah, they have temporary buff here, so they were able to take us down. We're 29 health, not great, but we're at level 5. Okay. This will take us straight to 6. I don't think we need this other slay buff. We want this silly pig out of here. Okay, we have this sort of new plan involving... Because this is also a support. Yeah, and things get a lot stronger when we put those in. So what if we were to sell this? Sell this silly frog and go something like this. Because all we care about is hitting level 6, right? Which we'll do. We don't even need this to be buffed, actually. This will just sort of, by default, hit level 6. I wonder if we can do this, right? Because all this needs to do is slay once and it hits level 6. No, let's make sure we hit level 6, I think. Obviously, this pig is a little bit silly here. This greedy is a little bit silly. We want a very greedy comp, but we're going to hit 6, hopefully, as long as this gets a slay, which 17 is usually enough. You can see that, I often base it on off front line. I think we're at relatively average strength, and off front line has nothing that would resist a 17. It's possible that someone does, different builds, like if they have like a happy little tree that's been sticking around. Back to order. Ooh, they take down. They're going a dwarf comp, it looks like. If you're looking for information about dwarf comps, you can view our recent guide. Ooh, that's a tough attack for us. So if they attack, okay, so if they were to attack Baby Root, we actually would have tied that fight, I believe. We got a little unlucky there. However, we've gotten so much luck this game that we're not in the complaining. We're not allowed to complain, I don't think. So we're going to sell this. I sort of want to buy a mummy. It might not be the right play here. We're not going to bother with the pig. Put this in front, it gets 22, so we're going to buff it here. We were hoping to get some 6 drops because we hit 6. And when you hit 6, the goal should be to grab as many 6 drops as you can. Instead, we're seeing a ton of cupids, which we should probably be grabbing, but I did sort of pass up here. And I think we'll put this right here. We don't expect it to do much here, but the idea is this will instantly get upgraded. The reason we give it +3 attack is because it allows us just to get instant upgrade. Once that happens, we actually have a very strong slaying character with the Baba Yaga behind it. And we're just going to see what happens on level 6. We could stop for this Bearstein. Did they change the... I swear this used to be Bearstein and I was very confused. Or maybe it just shows up as Bearstein. I call this Bearstein all the time, and then I think I'm losing it whenever I look. Okay, neither here nor there. Let's not get down that rabbit hole. We're gonna get the level 5 treasure. This should help us win fights, maybe. Just because 4 damage is still pretty significant. We got very lucky. We got a Slay. Actually survived the next attack. Yeah, this is gonna crush their back line for the most part. Get ourselves a little extra gold. And our pig is actually going to survive, giving us a little more gold. Yeah, everything that we needed to happen in that fight happened. Okay, so if you've ever met me, it's tough for me not to get Mimic. What if our Slay characters attack twice, though? But what if we had Mimic? We should probably grab this. But what if we had Mimic? Okay, 2 bears is too much for me to not buy. Nothing here is interesting. And I'm sure maybe it's interesting, but we're not going for it. These are incredibly powerful with so many different things that we're going to have trouble not finding things we like with it. All we need is... You know, I'd actually think it might make more sense. I think we're pretty likely to win this fight, so I think we might want to hide the pig. We now have a doubled sting. If we could get a doubled 6, we'd be very, very happy. And that's sort of the route we're going. Obviously, we passed up the chance for the Slay to attack twice and this to grow really fast, but we only had 1 Slay character, and it didn't seem like we were likely to get any more. So, good boys, baby bears, angry pigs, all very good. Another Bearstein. That was very good. This says Bearstein. Is that like a... That's the joke, right? The Berenstein bears, the... Whatever. They're messing with me, right? Bearstein. Yeah, okay. This is the bit they do. Okay, I see you guys. Okay, we're on the same page. Ooh, should we just grab these two? Is that what we're supposed to do? Is just grab all the 6s we see and hope to get the treasures? Oh, so this is an interesting slate with this. We want to put this in front so it gets a little bigger, I think. 45 is pretty big. Put this here. This here. I think we're done with the pig. Echo was actually very good with what we're going for. No, we'd rather this be here. Something along these lines. This greedy is just doing nothing. This Bearstein's actually doing nothing here too. And this might be silly, but I'm just gonna... I'd like to win the fights and not take as much damage, so I'm gonna try that. Apologize, we have a little noise happening. We've upped our chances slightly to win the fight. We actually still have 2 supports in. Usually it's hard to transition Pup's power to the late game. You know, it doesn't scale. It's a flat bonus, so it's naturally weaker in the late game anyways, but we found some strong supports. We have the Mimic, so any level 6 treasure we get is of increased importance. Unfortunately, we haven't found any animals to go with the Bearstein. Although, admittedly, we haven't tried that hard. Oh, this is not great for us because this is going to trigger... Which is going to trigger theirs. We did get some extra gold, but... Oh, and unfortunately... Yeah, because that hadn't attacked, we were actually in a tough situation there. And we'll get taken down by that. So we did lose this fight, which is tough. We really just need to get this upgraded. Yeah, I think we'll just... 6 drop treasure seems worth it. This will give +4/+4 every turn. This will quadruple our entire front row. +4/+4. Is that enough to... No, that's not enough to trigger that. Yeah, I feel like quadrupling the front row is better with the things that Bearstein is good with. Like these things. So we're going to pause here. We're going to sell this. I'm going to grab this. We want this to trigger. And then we don't care much what happens. We basically just want this to spawn. It will have a ton of attack. And next turn we're going to get the Good Boy. Do some transferring. It is unfortunate that Bearstein is now evil because it won't get the Good Boy buff. However, it's incredibly strong. And what we'll do is we'll shift the Green Knight over. We might get rid of this because it's also evil. And we're just going to go for... Oh wow, they managed to... How did they reduce its power so much? Am I not understanding this? I don't know. I never know what's going on. I wouldn't pay too much attention to me. There we go, we've triggered it. We're going to replace our 3-drop treasure with a 6-drop that's going to get doubled. Oh wow, are we losing this fight somehow? This should be enormous, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, okay, we went that. I was worried for a second. So yeah, we're going to replace this because it's not a good character. I don't have any of these. How do I dislike all of these so much? Getting plus 10 attack on attack is better. I don't know how much better. Echo Wood is really good with some of the things we're getting. We're gonna get it because it's way better than Greedy, but I don't love it. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty big. When it triggers, it will, you know, distribute some stats to everything. You know, so we're short 2 good characters. Normally this would be a good character. We might be able to change it back if we get the like turn from evil thing, the plus 4 defense or whatever. But in general, we just want some baby bears. And the hope is just that the Echo Wood gets huge, and we ride it up from there. I don't think it's worth selling this to buff anything. We're not super happy with this. It does, give us some added power, but it's just sort of, if we're gonna have a treasure that's doubled, it gets 10 every time you attack, is only really good if the Good Boy attacks, gets the buff, but then still dies and gives the buff to everything. So it's really gonna be a matter of how much us scaling matches up with their, birds. Looks like ours just get way bigger than theirs, right? We still haven't had a Good Boy die either. Yeah, we just got way bigger. Wow, and they took 16, almost knocked them out. Okay. Listen, you can win a game with 1 health. We've done it before, so they're sticking in there. Good for them. Oh, Cupid's so good, right? I don't know what we put it in for. Do we just put it in for like Hercules? Or do we just not bother, right? Is that just not worth... Okay, now that we're down to fewer options, I wonder if it's better. Getting a Cupid. Putting it... So we wanted it up front. Fortunately, yeah, let's grab a Cupid. I don't know, I feel a little silly grabbing it. Oh, we keep seeing Cupids. Actually, I'm going to sell this. I don't know what we're playing against, but if they have range characters, that's very good. I don't think we're going to bother with the second Cupid. Cupid isn't a great thing to upgrade. We already have 2 6-drop treasures, so a 5-drop treasure isn't, enticing in any way. What we'd like to see is basically more of our 6s, right? We wouldn't mind replacing the spear. We probably want the singing sword, but we wouldn't mind replacing the spear. I don't know if this is better than, say, Hercules. If we were to slide this down and put this in there like this, is this better? Maybe. Probably like this, right? Maybe that's better. It's hard to tell. That might be foolish. We got Otter again. Oh well, they just trashed our Good Boy, which is unfortunate. See, their issue right now is they're losing so many good characters that when this gets buffed, it's not going to be as strong. And yeah, we were able to take them down. They got a little unlucky there, although this hitting our Good Boy was incredibly unlucky for us. I think we will. Do we buff the Good Boy? No, we have enough attack from everything already. I don't think the attack buff is what we're looking for. What we're looking for is more Good Boys. Storm King is not a 6 we want. What if we do this? Do we get more 6s? Yes, and I think we'll take the Green Knight. We're not going to put it in here. I don't think we're going to bother with the Robin Wood, because I think in general our frontline stuff is better. Alright, and we just don't have that much more room. I think we'd be willing to take this because it upgrades, so it doesn't actually, you know, we're really tight on board space. So we don't want to take things that require more board space because we don't have that available. I think we'd replace Lancelot with, you know, a Baby Bear. If we found a second Baby Bear, we'd replace it. Because the summons are what give us a ton of extra buff for the Echo Wood, and they get a ton of value off this Bearstein. You know, I think other than that, you know, unfortunately, you know, if we find more Good Boys, obviously that's extremely strong. This, you know, this, if we could upgrade it, the Green Knight, it would buff the Good Boy, giving everything more health, which is valuable. Unfortunately, we don't have many, you know, we're short 2 good characters. And, you know, 1 is really unfortunate. I think it was worth tripling it. But I don't think we even had the Good Boy at the time. But I think it was, yeah, definitely worth tripling it. But it's also 2 in our back row. And we kind of need these in our back row. So it's possible that, you know, the longer Good Boy survives, the more likely it is that we don't have as many things to buff. Well, that wasn't great for us, but it looks like we just have a much bigger board than they do. Yep. Oh, one thing I didn't realize, well, I probably knew it, but that's convenient. The Spear of Achilles is actually very nice with the Echo Wood, because everything gets buffed. So we're going to do this here. And do we have anything? So this actually makes it so the round table is usually very good with characters in your front row. I wonder if we just want the Ivory Owl getting doubled every turn. We could just take the sword and give this plus 200, just make everything giant. This normally is very good because everything gets buff. It doesn't get buff though. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I think each of these is better than Spear of Achilles. Yeah, I'm gonna take this over this, and I might regret it. And I actually might take this, because when the Good Boy pops out, it will be enormous. I'm willing to believe that's a mistake. Oh, this is huge, too. I wonder if we want to slide this over, then. Although, I think we want this attacking first. This, yeah, we might have made some mistakes here. You know, it depends how strong they are, right? If they're strong enough that this dies early, we could be in good shape. If this doesn't die early, though, we're going to feel pretty silly. The point is that when the Good Boy spawns, it gets tripled, and then stuff gets buffed in the back. However, the problem is we don't have that many good characters overall. Oh, that was convenient. Died right away. Watch out, yes, that gets to a 275 or whatever. So we're going to be able to put way more stats on the board than they are. So look at it, yeah, these things just get... Their things get pretty big, our things get extremely big. The only issue we'll have is if that pumpkin spawns a bunch of Medusas. Or apple bombs. What spells? I mean, books could definitely take us down. If, you know, if they get some polymorphs. That's a huge buff, though. Everything's gonna get big. You know, we do have a 700 attack ranged character. Yeah. Yeah, so our board's pretty huge right now. And we're getting +4/+4 return. We're playing against the clone. Is there anything else we can put in a Croc? So I think we actually want to put this in a Croc. Oh no. So you'd want to put... The problem with putting this in a Croc is if the good boy happens to die, this won't come out. How bad is that? These crops don't triple, right? We're gonna try it. I know it's stupid, but we're gonna try it. Yeah, we're gonna move it further up because it's more important that the Croc dies early than this gets its slay, I think is the thinking. Although, as you can see, we're just doing wild stuff at this point. Okay, so we'll see what happens. It's probably better off if we just bought some, rolled for some polymorphs and, some chickens or whatever to put on a bench and go for a big, final turn when we have to actually fight the person. But, we've chosen a different path, the hardest road. It is nice that the Echowood gets a little buff at the beginning of the round, because that makes it less likely to die from sort of cheesier things. So, like, say it didn't die there, even from a dragon attack. So this will spawn, and that grows a little bit. Not as much as I was expecting, honestly. And obviously we take this person down easily. And we just have to see... Oh wow, they both survived. That's interesting. That's obviously not great for us. Is it worth buffing anything here? Probably not, because we put this in a crocodile. Okay, here's a good boy. Good boy is probably better than... Oh, and here's a bear. Is this any good anymore? This is a 70 attack thing. Can we just do wild stuff like this? I don't even know if that's better now that we put this in its Croc. I think we're supposed to buy this, right? And put it in a thing? I don't know. I've lost the thread, if that's not clear to anybody. There was a plan here, but I think we might have got too cute with these Crocs and these good boys and the whatevers. Unfortunately, I don't think we can move any of these from the back. Honestly, the thing we're most likely to move from the back is the support, which is interesting, but I think we're going to keep it back there. We'd love to turn this good. It would be such a huge boon to our team. We might be able to survive one loss, even at 6, depending on how strong, how many upgrades they have. So, we might be able to sneak something out, but we got a little too cute, I think. I'm considering this over a Cupid. Cupid's very good. It is ranged. I'm gonna let it go. Might regret that, but I think we want some polymorphs next turn too. So we're gonna have to fight people twice in a row. Okay, those are their good boys. Okay, they just got their good boy Crocs. And now we're getting all our good boy Crocs. Yeah, our things are bigger. By a lot. Yeah. We just summoned bigger things, it turns out. That was pretty wild. One interesting thing is that the... Okay, so we're definitely upgrading something. Selling this. What do we upgrade? Is it the good boy or is it the Echowood? Probably the Echowood. Right? Yeah, I think this has just the most potential to get enormous. It grows at the beginning of every fight. Do we want this later on? Do we want this earlier? No, I mean, so the Cupid ability isn't super relevant a lot of the time because it's going to have enough stats to take everything down, but it's just a large range character if it gets buffed. And the goal here is just the Echowood's going to get twice as much stats. Everything's already getting +4/+4, so I think that's +48/+48 right off the bat. And then whenever these spawn, this gets huge. We're vulnerable to polymorphs, as comps like this usually are, just because, you know, we sort of have some combos, and if either of these two get polymorphed, we're a lot weaker. Although we can probably survive this getting polymorphed. Maybe even this, honestly. Good Boy combos well with this too. Obviously, let's hope we don't get polymorphed. Pigomorphed. But they just changed the thing twice. Oh wow, losing that is terrible for us. Good thing we got rid of that the second time. But yeah, that was awful. Wow, we might lose this round just because of that. And we have the benefit of a big tree, but yeah, what are they gonna spawn here? Okay, the spawns weren't too bad. But yeah, they keep growing. I think we're gonna lose this round. And maybe even the... Are we gonna get knocked out here? Okay, no, maybe not. I guess if, you know, if this is a pig, obviously we're gonna get crushed here. Wow, that was rough. That was rough. Yeah, getting this transformed is really bad. I wonder if it's worth... No, it's probably not, right? We just need some pigs. Is getting the 15th Good Boy any good here? Yeah, maybe because it levels. I wonder if getting one of those is worthwhile. I think we're just gonna buff this. Is it better than Cupid here? It does do the weird stat passing on thing better. But Cupid has had a lot of time to get bigger. I think we're just doing this on the chance that we survive a round and get the chance to transform this Good Boy. I think otherwise it's not as significant. We'd rather have a Cupid. Again though, I wonder if we want Cupid earlier. Because attacking that backline is actually fairly strong here. Oh, and then I wonder if we want to just move this over here. No. See, we like having both the Good Boys buffed. Yeah, we'll do this. Taking out that backline's fairly good. They had the Oni King. They have a upgraded... What was it? Upgraded Pumpkin. Oh, now they have a Bearstein too? Okay. Wow, and they got the sheep again on our good character. Okay, well... This one we might lose. Yeah, that's not going to buff very much. So they don't have many upgraded characters, so I think we're safe here from getting knocked out. Well, are we winning this round? Did I just completely misunderstand? Those are big, but we do have a ton of stats in that character. Yeah, are we... Wow, I'm so bad at telling who's winning rounds. It's really something. Okay, so we were able to win that, even though they got very lucky Medusa statues. I think what we learned is Good Boy is so strong that even if I let Crocs eat all of my characters, you can still win, and even if I turn my Bearsteins evil, we can still win, and just a variety of things. I mean, we had a very synergistic comp that we made less synergistic with these goofy Croc things. I think the second Croc might have been too much. It just reduced a lot of the synergy we had. It's possible we just didn't need this Good Boy to be any bigger. It's possible just taking the likelihood of it triggering early was enough. It just buffed enough things and it buffed the Echo Wood. However, we won. And I should stop complaining about games we win in. I don't know if I'm complaining. I'm just... but it's good to tell when we do poorly, right? Yeah, so key here, buy Good Boys, and you'll likely win. The other stuff is sort of window dressing, I think.